Well, hello and welcome to ILoveGay today. And this is part of a special series we're doing in conjunction with Cinequest, the film festival based up in the Bay Area of California. And I think they start August 15th. But we are here with Brian Silverman, and he's one of the filmmakers, and you have a film, Two Lives in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Matt. Yeah,
Oh,
we have two lives in Pittsburgh. We're fortunate enough to be in Cinequest this year,
yeah.
and very excited to share our story.
Well, it's interesting too. I mean, it's fascinating. It seems very timely. When I saw the trailer, I saw it as a kind of an intergenerational family story. With a variety of generations, but with a transgender or just a child who's exploring their gender, and it seems very, like I said, very timely in this day and age.
Absolutely. When we started writing the story, I wanted to base it from because I wanted to explore this parent role in today's world, and so I based it off of Kramer versus Kramer. And as we know, Dustin Hoffman, if you're familiar with that movie, he has to reassess what his job is as a man, as a breadwinner, as a husband, and then as a father.
Yeah,
And I thought, for this time period,
yeah.
I thought that for a quote regular guy, traditional blue collar dude, um, addressing gender identity was really that challenge or that story or that evolution.
Yeah. My takeaway from me, like I said, watching the trailer was uh you're trying to help make the world a slightly better place in the in the environment we're in today.
Well, I'm glad if that's the message you picked up from the trailer. That makes me yelling at us from the really polar sides that we forget that in the middle, and this is the foundational idea of the story, is in the middle you just love your family, love your kid, uh, imperfectly but fully.
Yeah, yeah.
If we do that, we can wipe away a lot of the I don't know, aggression
Yeah,
that seems to be targeted towards this topic and this
yeah.
idea and gender
I,
fluidity and identity.
I think it's also important. I mean, you filmed it in Pittsburgh, which is kind of like, in some ways, I live in Pennsylvania as well. And so it's just kind of in the middle. I wouldn't call it necessarily a battleground state, but it's definitely an area where you definitely see both sides. And you're from Pittsburgh. Your executive producer, Stephen Chbosky, he's from Pittsburgh. You just have a very strong, almost a Midwest flavor to this whole thing.
Absolutely, and that was very purposeful. I'm from Pittsburgh, as you say, and
Yeah.
so in doing a film, I really wanted to set something in Pittsburgh. And although Allegheny County might be a little blue and
Yeah.
Philly might be a little blue, the state is very red. And so, although it's not a political necessarily front talking about those types of politics,
Yeah.
it is a a Midwestern feel. And
Yeah.
um, that's one. I love Pittsburgh, and I wanted to put that in. But then
Yeah.
two, I wanted to explore this idea from that point of view, not being on the coast, not being in New York or in LA, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if you're familiar with a movie, a documentary um, uh, called Mama Bears, and it's that group.
Oh,
There's the organization Mama
yeah.
Bears, but
Yeah.
as very apparent in that story, in their stories during that film, you know, you're not always born into quote need to be born to. Sometimes you're born into a family that doesn't understand and uh, needs a little bit of help in their evolution, and that's part of what this story is.
Yeah, but also even going back to it's interesting. I'm not as good as others are. When I saw this name Stephen Chbosky, I was like, okay. But then when I read his pedigree, I mean, you've got somebody that has an amazing background in movies that really touch on stories such as his perks of being a wallflower, Dear Evan Hansen, and that must have been quite a coup on your end just to be able to have him as part of the team.
Oh, it's wonderful. It was super fortunate. One of the actors in the film grew up with Steven, And so we reached out to him, and he responded to the script. And as you say, he brings, a tenderness to his storytelling, both when he wrote Perksby and the Wallflower, and then Standing, and then certainly, with Wonder. I teach outside of my filmmaking. What I do is teach, and we teach Perksby and the Wallflower. That's one of the books we use.
Really?
And also in the younger grades, I don't teach the younger grades, teach Wonder. And so, yeah, really fortunate to have Stephen on board with his compassion, his storytelling, his expertise.
Yeah, that's good to know. I actually read the book and watched the movie. So yeah,
Good. We're ready for my class this fall.
I love that. Well, we're going to make sure we have links to all of this as well when we post this on YouTube. So, and of course, we'll share on other social media and tag you as well. But mostly, I'm just really appreciative you're able to take a few moments of your time and share a bit of your film that's coming up in this. This is not our first time working with Cinequest. They've got a great program every year, and we're just excited to be able to kind of be a part of all that with you all.
Us too. We're very excited. Uh, you know, I for Emma, who plays that Maddie role, and for Carla, who's the grandmother, kind of based on that Alan Arkin role from Little Miss Sunshine.
Yep.
They're really excited for us to be premiering there, and I know that there's a lot of great films out of Cinequest. So hopefully people can make it out, tune in, and I hope to be able to talk to more people about the film.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for being here with us.
My pleasure.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Why do boys have penises and girls have vaginas?
I don't know. Can you not say penis?
How's Carla? What's wrong with her?
She's old.
What's wrong with you, man?
What?
How do you keep your clients?
I didn't charge her.
Thanks, Jimbo.
That's how he keeps his clients.
That's how I stay poor.
She gonna die?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. How'd you get kicked out of an elementary school assembly?
She called Bruce Frazowski a jackhole, and he's a 6th grader.
A jackhole 6th grader!
Do you like being a Grammy?
Love it. Wish I could have just skipped to that.
What do you want to be?
I don't know. Maybe a cop.
You could be a cop.
Yeah, well, back in those days, things were different.
Has Maddie ever talked to you about how he sees himself?
How he sees himself?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, I gave away this writing assignment in class. We worked on it for about a week or so. The prompt was, the day of your dreams. What's the best day you can imagine?
If I told you something, will you promise not to call me any names?
Has Maddie ever mentioned anything like this to you before?
It is what it is.
Well, Bernie, what if it's something more?
Like what?
Like Maddie's feelings about who he really is.
Yeah, you want to toughen him up? Put him in hockey.
Yes.